A big picture.
Yeah, but speaking of that warmth almost nationwide here, it's coming just a few weeks before perhaps the big holiday shopping season ramps up, so perhaps there's a huge economic cost to this.
All right, you know we want to dig deeper, so let's bring in our business weather expert, Paul Walsh. Paul, good to see you. You see that forecast, and you are definitely crunching numbers already. What does it mean to retailers and the economy?
Well, for retailers, Maria, it's actually not good news because a large part of what retailers are selling this time of year is seasonal products. And when it's unseasonably warm, we just don't buy as much as we would normally. And so they're actually hurting. For the economy in general, though, it's actually good news. There's more of us out and about. We're shopping. Price of gas is at record level lows. So in general, on net, it's a good thing for the economy.
And speaking of businesses, though, as they plan for seasonal wares and it's feeling out of season, do businesses plan for these kind of situations?
They do. More and more, they're using data and analytics to understand the historical impact that weather's had on sales, for example, and then using that information to predict how changes in the weather, how the weather forecast is going to change what we're all going to be needing. And they use that information to help them better stock the shelves and also advertise. So they can't yet change the weather, but they certainly can plan for it and exercise better judgment around their business.
All right. It's all about me, though, Paul. What does this mean for me and my wallet?
Well, Maria, I think if you like buying winter clothes, this is going to be a great year, especially as we move towards the middle and end part of November, especially following that milder than normal October. Last year was one of the coldest Novembers on records, and retailers, by and large, plan their business this year based on sales from last year. Since it's going to be much warmer, they're going to have more inventory than they need. Therefore, there's going to be some amazing bargains as we move through the balance of November.
Well, let's talk about November and December. We're talking about the holiday shopping season. So will this kind of mild spell impact shopping for the holidays?
It certainly will. I think what's going to end up happening is that we're in the holiday season. As I mentioned before, seasonal apparel bargains are going to be everywhere. More than likely, though, guys, we'll probably see cooler temperatures or colder temperatures this year compared to last year. Again, remember, the comparison is really important. Last year was one of the warmest Decembers on record, so we may end up with a mild December, but more than likely it'll be colder than last year. That means demand for seasonal items will actually be up in December. So I guess the message there is to buy your jackets and coats in November before we get into December, because you'll probably be needing them at least more than you did last year.
And if we throw in a big winter storm, that's a whole nother level.
Exactly, and the prediction for the winter that Tom just went through and you went through does not say we're not going to have snow. And so we need to be able to expect that. In fact, I guarantee we will in some of these big markets.
And Paul, looking back at what happened last year across New England and Boston, all that record snow there, people were searching for things like snow blowers, which were in very short supply as the winter rolled on. When's the best ideal time to purchase something like a snowblower?
The sooner the better, Paul. And, you know, interestingly, what happens this time of year when you have those cooler than normal days, which we will have, that actually triggers demand for those items based on the memory of what happened last year. So we'll probably see actually stronger than normal sales, stronger than you would expect before it starts snowing, because we all remember, at least for most of those people here in the Northeast, how bad it was and how snowy it was last year. We don't want to get caught up. The same is true of boots as well.
So fascinating. Paul Walsh, our business weather expert. You just made us all a lot smarter. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, weather is tied into everything. And especially how much money comes out of your wallet.